What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Ambition Season 1, Episode 7. So, a couple of things going down. Y'all know this is one of those shows that it's a whole lot of moving parts. So, a couple of things going down. First of all, the mayor walks in. Remember last week we left off with Stephanie passing out on the floor after she got drugged at the women's empowerment event. So, the mayor comes in and sees her laying on the floor, y'all. Why he picked up the phone like he was going to call 911 and then hesitated, like, if she died, all my problems will be solved. Like you saw him thinking it through. But just as he was sitting there thinking, she sort of kind of woke up and he was like, baby, I'm great calling 911. She was like, nope, I got a doctor. So they got a private doctor. They get the private doctor to come in. And we'll get to that in a minute. Over to Thelma's place. Something's going on with Daddy, with Senior. He's acting kind of funky, and we see that the daughter went and stayed the night there. But she gets the text about her mother and takes off. And got the text that her mother was sick or whatever, and she takes off. Over to Titus and Amara's house. They live in La Vida Loca. They do it like rabbits. Every episode they getting it in, baby. And we see the camera, and he's sitting there watching them. Damon, the stalker, he's sitting there watching them, honey. So the test results come back about the sorry, y'all. The test results come back that show that Stephanie had opioids in her blood. And, the mayor's like, when you start using drugs? And she was like, I don't use no daggone drugs. What you talking about? So the opioids are in her system. And so, of course, she jumps to the conclusion that Purefoy drugged her. She thinks the daughter did it, which, of course, she slapped her at the gala. They make opioids. She would just happen to have some opioids in her purse, I guess. Just because you make them, I guess you just carry them around. But anyway, she firmly believes that that's who drugged her. During this time, the daughter comes back home and she apologizes to the daughter. And the daughter said, "Did you tell daddy, what happened?" And she was like, "Nah, that's your story to tell. You let your father know." She said, "But I want you to know that, I don't care who you love." Remember, she told her that last week. She's like, "I don't care about you being gay. I just don't want you with her." So they sort of make a uneasy little truce. So that little get out my house lasted 24 hours, honey. So Amara gets to work late because her and her husband had to get it in one more time. And who is in her office? Nope, that's a lie. That's later on. I'm going ahead of myself. Um, Titus is at work. My bad. Titus is at work, and the pharmaceutical guy. Remember the only other black guy in the company who the daughter was worried about becoming buddy buddy with Titus. He comes in Titus's office and lets Titus know that he does have some concerns. He was like, "Look, just because I work here and I'm doing the pharmaceuticals, he has some concerns that Purefoy is targeting minority communities more so than other communities, and he's letting Titus know, look, with this lawsuit looming, I just want to give you the 411. You might want to look into that." So back pocket. So then we see Rondell goes to see the mayor. This episode was really good because you saw the brother sister relationship between them. Up until this point, you only saw them going at it. You only saw them arguing. You only saw Rondell's disappointment in who her brother has sort of become and all of that. But in this episode, you saw them be brother and sister, and they came together for the purpose of their father. So she goes to visit him and says, "Look, daddy is tripping. You need to talk to him. I'm trying to get him to go to the doctor. You need to give him a call." So he calls him and he's like, "Yo, Pop, I'm talking to Rondell and, Ronell, and she told me that, you need to go to the doctor. You get my daughter. I know that. Tell her I'm making the appointment right now. All right. I heard what she had to say. I'm making the appointment right now." They hung up the phone and she said, he ain't about to make no daggone doctor's appointment. He was like, "Look, Pop is good. Don't worry about it." So, you getting this whole, you're seeing again, throughout the whole episode, you really saw that with them the whole episode. They actually laughing and joking with each other. It was really nice to see because it reminded you that they really are brother and sister and that there is a relationship there. It's not all contentious. So Bella and the football player, they getting it in, and then they get to talking. And I knew, look, I ain't trust Bella in this whole situation from the beginning. I still don't trust Bella. We're gonna find out that I was right. She asked Bella about. Bella's asking him. So, how many how many times did you download this footage? Like, where's the footage? Oh, is that the only place you put it? Okay, so it's on 3 drives. Well, we haven't heard back from the mayor. I'm getting a little nervous. He was like, ain't nobody tripping. He coming. He gonna call. Don't worry about it. And just at that moment, Damon knocks at the door. Um, and asks to speak to him and tells him, look, you might want to come down and talk to us because we think you got some information you can share with us about the mayor. You don't went on the news talking about how this was a horrible person and he's a terrible guy, whatever. So he goes down there to talk to them, and that's when Amara walks in. I was jumping ahead of myself. That's when Amara walks in her office and sees him and the boss already in there with the guy, with the football player. And she says, she says, I'm sorry. She gets into y'all, I'm sorry. God, my train of thought keeps going. But she tells him the pure sorry, ask the mayor. God, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back now. They're like, what is the problem? What is your beef with the mayor? Like, what do you want to tell us? And he gives them this song and dance about the mayor had promised him that he was going to be the face of Atlanta campaign, and he had hired a publicist and hired this and done that. And then the mayor backed out on him, and he just felt disrespected and double crossed, and that's what it was. And he was like, well, whatever it is that y'all trying to do, I hope y'all get him because he's a horrible person. So they know that the dude is lying. They know that the dude is lying. And he leaves the office, and then when he leaves, she asks Damon to leave, and she tells her boss again. She's like, "Look, I told you I roll solo dolo. Like, I'm not working with him." And she was like, "Look, maybe you forgot, but I'm your boss, and this is how this is gonna go down. And now I need y'all to go down to the clerk's office and go talk to this man because all these permits keep getting fast tracked from this same contractor. So I'm gonna need you to go handle it, and I'm gonna need you to remember who's really in charge around here." So she don't like it, of course, because the whole thing with her husband, they not supposed to be working together. So over to the judge's office, Titus and Stephanie have a pre-conference hearing with the judge. Come to find out, they get the judge that Purefoy wanted all along. So that throws Titus off because he was like, okay, how did this happen? Because I didn't play game. I ain't play ball, but we still got the judge that we wanted anyway. Something ain't right about this. But him and Stephanie end up getting into it, and the judge tells them, look, y'all not gonna sit here and keep arguing back and forth. What y'all are gonna do is sit down and y'all gonna come to y'all gonna settle this. Like, y'all are gonna make every good faith effort to settle this before it goes to court. Like, we're not doing this. And of course they looking at each other like they crazy because they ain't trying to settle nothing. Stephanie wants this to go to trial. Stephanie ain't trying to settle nothing. Um, Back down to Thelma's place, Rondell done walked in on her daddy getting it in with the neighbor. We've seen this lady in other episodes, right? And Rondell, of course, reacts the way anybody would react walking in on their parents having relations. And just as she's walking off, the woman comes out in the hallway and calls Rondell back. She says, "Senior, something wrong with him. He done fell out." Come to find out, he got high blood pressure, and he ain't taking his pills because the high blood pressure affects his performance with his girlfriend, and he ain't trying to have that problem. And so, again, you see a very awkward conversation that she ends up having to have with her father about him taking care of himself. And even, there are other things that can be done. And he was like, I am not having this conversation with my daughter. She said, look, then call brother. Call your friend. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care if you talk to the man on the moon, but talk to somebody because you not taking your medicine is not an option. Like, you're going to take your damn medicine. So they have you see a little tender moment with them. Football player goes to visit the mayor because the mayor ain't responding fast enough, and of course they have a face off. And I'm gonna give this mayor. I'm gonna give them. I don't know why I keep calling him mayor, but study his name. But I'll give mayor credit. He does not flinch. He does not easily back down, and he does not flinch because this man straight up got him on tape on some crazy stuff, and he is straight up giving this dude like, look, I'm not really scared of you. Like, give me the evidence back, and then I'll pay you. And then he was like, dude, do you think I'm stupid? He was like, yeah. It was like, I'll give you the drives back when you give us the money. Like, this is how it's gonna work. Bella will be the go between. He was like, I don't trust her ass either. You're gonna give Bella the money, and when Bella gives you the money, I'll give her the drives, and then she'll give you the drives, and then that'll be that. He was like, look, and if I don't do this, he said, then I'll go to plan B, which is I'll leak the footage and your ass will get impeached. He was like, I promise you, if you go to plan B, that will be mutual, what is it? Assured mutual destruction. You know, the term from the Cold War for my history buffs. And so that's just kind of where they left that. Um, we'll see what that happens, how that breaks down later on. So then we see Damon and Amara go down to the permanent office and talk to old dude. And he doesn't shake. You know, he sticks to his story that he ain't being paid off, that ain't nothing going down with him, that he's, you know, that he does everything on the up and up. But they shook him a little bit. They gave him her they gave she gave him her card and was like, look, you give me a call and let me know what you let me know what's good. So Stephanie's talking to baby girl, and Stephanie's letting baby girl know, look, your girlfriend drugged me, okay? You're going to stop seeing her because she's not a good person. I know that she did it. And of course, baby girl's defending her girlfriend, but she ends up going to see the girlfriend because she don't trust it either. She thinks that maybe there's some validity or truth to it. She goes and confronts the girlfriend. Girlfriend is like, look, the pure boy girl, she like, look, I did not drug your mother. You don't believe me? And she was like, well, you know, I just don't know. I don't know. She said, why did you smack my mother? No, why did my mother smack you? Like, what did she said you insulted her? What did you say? And she told her what she said. She said, I told her, I've given your daughter more orgasms in the last 3 weeks than your husband has through the entirety of your marriage. And the daughter broke down laughing. It was hilarious, right? So Stephanie shows that was later on, but anyway. So of course they made up. So Stephanie shows up at the Purifoy office to do her for them to sit down and start working on this settlement agreement. And she ends up confronting the daughter and lets the daughter know, look, I know you drugged me. And she was like, I did not, like, that's not even my style. Like, I did not drug nobody. Um, um, and you see later on Titus talks to the Purifoy daughter, and Titus is the same. You know, Titus, she said, "Are you going to ask me? You know, are you going to ask me if I did it?" He was like, "No, but I mean, did you?" She was like, "That's not my style. Like, you know, that's not even how. Like, well, you don't know, but that's not how I roll. Like, if I was going to come after Stephanie, I would come after her in a much different way. Like, why would I use opioids? I would be the obvious target." The other thing is Titus does do his research and does study up and realize that Purifoy is not targeting, at least based on information he gathered, is not targeting any minority office, any minority groups or anything to that nature. Um, Mara's back at work with Damon, and um they're having a little conference with the boss talking about they're ready to go after the mayor. And she's like, look, I think we need to slow our roll. And she's like, and the boss was like, well, are you like protecting your friend, Stephanie? And she was like, Stephanie, like, no, hell no. She said, I just feel like if we're going to swing, we need to make sure that, we going to get a home run. Like, this is a big target and we can't afford to be wrong. So we need to move slow. We need to really, she was like, I really feel like our best option is to come through, go through, try to get some information from what the football player knows and some other places before we go straight up at the mayor. Our contracts are, these contracts, these land contracts are probably our best bet. So they agree to do that. Damon is in the office flirting with her again, basically trying to get in where you fit in. Titus and call while he was in the office and all that good stuff. So later on in the episode, she does actually tell Titus, she was like, look, I need to tell you something that you probably not gonna like, but I need to let you know. She said, my boss has put Damon on this case with me. And he was like, oh, so now you're working with him. She was like, look, I did everything I could to get out of it, but we are going to be working together. And I just wanted to be honest with you and let you know that. He says, you know what? I don't like that you're working with him, but I appreciate that you told me and I trust you. Like, I don't trust him, but I trust you. Like, that you telling me what's going on and keeping me in the loop is really making sure, it's really keeping our bond strong about the trust issue. Okay. So it turns out that the football player is as dumb as the mayor thought he was. So the dude shows up. Bella's all excited. She was like, the mayor came through. He bought the money. He was like, oh, for real? He got the money? You got the money? Where's the money? She was like, it's in the safe. He was like, well, show it to me. She said, well, let me go ahead and get those jump drives so I can take them over to the mayor now. And he was like, well, why are you in such a rush? Let me see what this money. Like, I ain't never seen that much money before, which is stupid because you were a football player. So You've seen money. I mean, even if you were making the league minimum, you've seen that kind of money. Anyway, um, and I knew then it was a setup. Like, well, I felt like Bella couldn't be trusted to begin with, but I definitely knew it was a setup then because I'm like, first of all, why you can't, like, I would have had the money still sitting on the table. She's like, you can't have that kind of money laying around. From who? The only people that come in your house is you, the football player, and the mayor. The mayor gave you the money, the football player in on the deal. Why you can't have the money sitting out? So I would have definitely made sure that I saw that money before I did anything. So he gonna give Bella the damn evidence, and she gonna say, and this is it, right? You don't have it anywhere else. He said, well, no, I was going to keep a backup, but I didn't want to put you and Joaquin in any danger. And as soon as he put them things in her hand, who come out from her bedroom? The mayor and his goons. I said, you so stupid. Now let me go see how stupid he really is. Did he fully trust Bella and does he not have a backup? I'm not too sure. I honestly am not too sure because I feel like I just hope he's not that dumb. Anyway. But he, the mayor lets him leave. He's like, get out of here, don't come back, And come to find out, Bella double crossed him because the mayor promised her airport consignment. But then he ended up double crossing her because he doesn't give her her own shop. He puts her underneath another shop that's already been approved. And he was like, and you can be the apprentice. And then, when you've gotten all of the qualifications that you need, then you can go ahead and open up your own shop. But right now, you just didn't meet the qualifications, and this is the road to it. And of course, that's not exactly what Bella wanted. And she kind of looking at him side eye, but bitch, oh well, you sold your soul to this devil, and you certainly knew who you were dealing with. And he tells her, in spite of everything, I've always believed in you, Bella. Child, please. So, um, Titus, because he trusts his wife, but he does not trust Damon. Titus ends up he watches Amara log into her computer and he gets her password. And while she's sleeping, he goes into her computer so he can access Damon's information. And he takes a picture of like his address, phone number, like all of his pertinent information. I don't know how he got, because I can't get into other people's personnel file from my computer, but okay. All right. But of course, Damon is watching the whole thing. He saw Titus go on her computer. He might not know what he pulled off the computer, but he certainly saw him go on the computer. So, baby, that's gonna be a whole nother mess. Senior is down to the Thelma's place. He then agreed to take his medicine. The son comes to check on him, and he says, "Look, we're gonna." He got a date because his girlfriend had threatened that he wasn't gonna get no more poo poo till he started taking his medicine. So they get ready to go out on the date, and the son was like, "So everything working?" He was like, "We're gonna find out tonight." So, and again, you see him and Ronnell have a little moment where she was like, "So you come over here at the end after I done all the heavy lifting." Like, it was just really, again, I enjoyed their banter this episode because again, it wasn't contentious and they came together for the purposes of their father. But Senior he's taking his medicine and he's better now. So that's where we are. And that is pretty much where the episode ended, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.